Get high rapper, the man hour. You already know. It's live, it's raw, it's going down. Like this. I'm going around and letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. If you Mike and Mike. Yeah, it's the man hour. Got the hottest plays, all the breaking news. Every rumor, every trade, every breaking bruise. Tighten knuckle screws, yeah, it's going down. Have you saying what the fuck and never watered down. It's going down, I'll be rolling up. And if you buy it or you sell it, then you made the cut. Watch me flip it back, I can double up. I got Sriracha for that ass, I'ma burn it up. Gotta check the rules and know that if it's fair foul. Ref blow the whistle, coach throw the towel. We can do this on the field or outside the line. It's the man hour though, now we going live.
And what is up, everybody? Michael Buckhouse with my man Mike LeBlanc here on the Mike and Mike Man Hour. I see Mike already stewing and brewing over there because we got a great show lined up for you. We're going to talk a little bit of college football. The Rock buys the XFL. Antonio Brown possibly to the Seahawks. And what else we got here? We have some more college football because college football is a hot topic tonight on tonight's show. Michael Reeves says the champ is here. Mike LeBlanc, you got something to say about that? You were on the great debate tonight.
I was on the great debate. Brandon Combs, thanks for bringing me on, man. I had a great time. Everybody that was on there, Mike Reeves, Wayne, Soup Boss, and I had a great time. And Mike Reeves won tonight.
Was it by default because he got the wrong mic?
No, it wasn't by default. Mike Reeves had some really good insights for the questions and some rebuttals. So my hats off to Mike Reeves tonight. Did a great job, bud. I can't wait to come against you again.
Yeah, so guys, the Great Debate is on the RTF Sports Network Facebook page every Monday at 8 p.m., and it is re-aired on the RTFSportsNetwork.com page Monday at 7 p.m. So you can catch it, twice there, back-to-back times. As my players are already texting me, man. Shit, guys, I'm on air. What is up, Jameson? We see you jumping in the chat. What is up, Wayne from Infinity Sports? Wayne was obviously on the Great Debate with you tonight as well. Mike,
it was between Wayne and Mike Reeves.
I believe Wayne at some point said he had a 97.6 winning percentage as a debater, and I guess that dropped down to about 50% now because he's been in like three debates in his whole life, right? But yeah, so Mike says, "Thanks, boss. It was a blast. Great group of guys." Yeah, so guys, the Great Debate is all the family from the RTF Sports Network. They gather around in a round a horn type setting, and they kind of just talk sports. So, Mike, speaking of sports, we're going to talk a lot of sports tonight, obviously, but we are both work in a business atmosphere, and and today the RTF Sports Network, I had to be the quote CEO for like a day and had to let somebody go, and it is.
How was that?
It is never fun letting anybody go, but when they want to challenge you, you kind of want to take off the CEO hat like a little bit and kind of look.
I would have to disagree with you. It's always great. I mean, no. I don't ever fire anybody.
Yeah.
You fire yourself.
Right.
I'm not just letting you go just because.
Well, yeah, right.
You fired yourself. I'm sorry. Bye.
Yeah, but yes, you do fire yourself or put yourself in that predicament or whatever by simply not following rules. We have very, very easy rules over here at RTF. Just do what I ask and things get done and we move forward, right? But then you want to challenge me and say, "Oh, you never told me this. You never told me that." Mike, you are a part of the RTF group here, and we have weekly meetings. Twice a week? Usually, there's stuff always going down, and I felt bad, but then I'm like, you know what? We're better off. It's time to move forward. Cindy talked me off the ledge, and
we're all grown men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're a grown man. Be responsible for your own shit.
Yeah, and speaking of being responsible for my own shit, I have to publicly apologize for her. Apparently, she felt embarrassed about me talking about her peanut butter and jelly last night.
Oh.
So I'm sorry, Cindy, for telling you that you have bad taste in crunchy peanut butter. It's just facts are facts. So, Mike, there are some other big things.
And then you shove your foot in your mouth once again.
Hey, we just bought a brand new couch, and I really just want to break it in. So I'm pretty excited about it. Like, so I'm.
You want to be a dog? I got it.
See, it is a nice leather couch, and it's super hot outside. So I'm thinking, your cold leather couch or your warm.
No, we have leather couches, and when I have to sleep on the couch. Man, it's so damn hot. Like, I have to put a blanket down because you get, like, all sticky and shit. No, man. No, you don't like sleeping on leather couches.
So, Mike, there's also other big news happening over here. We are, we are moving and whatnot. We're packing the house up and all that good stuff. And today we went over to Cindy's old parents' house, and we were dropping off some like tree limbs to put in the yard and stuff like that, and Cindy just started to like cry, and I knew in the back of my mind probably what it was, but I didn't want to like assume anything. So me kind of being insensitive, I'm like, what is wrong? Why are you crying? Suck it up, right? And never do that. Just
no. I mean, is this the first house that y'all bought together?
No. So this is her parents' old house. So
so it's sentimental. You insensitive bastard.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't thinking at all. Whatever. And then like I'm hot and sweaty from carrying these massive ass logs. Cause these pythons right here, son. Look at those babies. Whew.
Calm down.
Carrying some massive logs and throwing them in the burn pile. So I'm hot and sweaty and just wore out. I'm like, let's go. I want to put my feet up. I worked all day. I had football practice in it. And I'm just ready to chill. And she's sitting there crying. I'm just like,
you done fucked up, son.
Yeah. And
you done fucked up, Ron.
Guys. From a man to other men out here, when a female's crying, don't say anything. I'm telling you that right now. Just don't say a word. Just walk up and give him a hug. I learned that tonight. Yeah.
Yeah. Just walk up, give him a hug. You don't even have to know the reason why they're crying. Right. You just walk up and give them a hug and say, I'm sorry, it's going to be okay.
And it has to be right then and there. It can't be half hour after the fact. Because I tried that. We drove our 6 minutes home. I tried to give her hugs. Like, what is that for? Well, I figured I could pick up the slack what I left off 10 minutes ago. Yeah.
No, too late.
100% fail. But guys, like I said, we do have an exciting show coming for you guys. We're going to talk some NCAA football. But first, we're going to talk some baseball. So we're going to take a quick little break. After the fact, we're going to talk some Major League Baseball. Mike, this was a great debate question. Give it your chance to cut.
We'll pissed off about this question too, Brandon.
We'll be right back, guys. Jameson says college football is a shit show, fitting to get canceled. Jameson's always on it.
I hate that he talks about the shit before we talk about it.
Are you ready? Good.
Okay, so tonight I was on the Great Debate, and we got the debate question: how do we get younger viewers to watch baseball? And I responded to the question, and I said, well, first of all, we got to make baseball stop being so damn boring. And Brandon Combs proceeded to take points away from me because I said baseball is boring. Look, I don't care what anybody else out there says. I'm a huge Yankees fan. I love baseball, but it is boring to watch on TV.
It is.
Why is it boring? Because there's so many damn games. There's 162 games. Like, like I said in the great debate, you could go on a 12, 13, 14. You can go on a 20-game losing streak. And it's okay. It's not that big of a deal in baseball because you can make it up when you start coming back from the All-Star break. I was mad. I was offended, Brandon, that you took points away from me because I said baseball is boring.
Well, Combs is a huge baseball fan. I believe he's a Cubs fan, so sorry about that, Brandon. But
that's even worse.
But Mike, but my man here, Mike, is absolutely 100% correct. Major League Baseball season is just way too freaking long. Like we start usually April 1st and it goes all the way till November 1st. First of all, from April till about June, that's prime basketball season. People are worried about the NBA, whatnot. Like I think of baseball, I think of a summer sport. I think start June, maybe even late May. Trim off that first month and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
We don't need April. We don't need May. Start June or July, and actually end it in October. So the hunt for October is actually a real thing because games 4, 5, and 6, and 7 of the World Series are ending up in November when there's freaking snow on the ground. Like it is.
Yeah, not only that. I mean, you're in prime football time.
Yeah.
November. You're in prime football. We're starting to get ready to go down the stretch in football. And I like watching the World Series. I watch it because I am a baseball fan. But the average person that likes sports, hey, they're watching football. They're not watching baseball.
Yeah.
And that's why they have it like on a Monday, Tuesday. They have it during the week. Like it's during the week. This is the same reason why we have complaints about Monday Night Football and we have complaints about Thursday Night Football because it's too damn late, mate. I got to go to bed. I got to go to work in the morning.
I don't have any complaints about Monday Night Football. I absolutely love Monday Night Football. But I remember when the Royals were in the World Series, I believe it was the first time. I forget who they play. But like it was Game 4 of the World Series like that afternoon. And then that Sunday night, the Chiefs played the Patriots. So there was actually more people at the football game than the Royals World Series game. We're talking about the first World Series that they have been there since '85, and there's more people at the Kansas City Chiefs game than the Royals World Series game. So that tells you right there.
I think another reason why younger generation doesn't watch, and I don't remember if it was Wayne or if it was Mike. Maybe it was even Soup Ball. No, I think it was Soup Balls. These kids' attention span is not what it is. Not what it used to be.
Instant gratification.
Instant. Yeah, it's just like TikTok. That's why TikTok's so famous.
It was famous.
60 seconds, and they can scroll to the next video. Baseball, and another thing is with marketing. I think Mike Reeves said it best. Or maybe it was Wayne. I don't remember. One of the guys on the debate said they don't market players. They market the teams. They don't market players where people can gravitate towards players like basketball does.
Yeah.
Basketball does a really good job at marketing the players.
Well, like NBA is a players-based league. Let's be totally honest. Like if LeBron James says jump, the NBA says how high. Just because LeBron James runs the NBA right now. Now, the next up-and-coming star, probably Zion, when he says jump, the NBA is going to say, oh, how high do you want me to jump, Zion? It's like that is just the way it is. And you are absolutely right.
Zion. We talked about this during the debate. It's not going to be Zion. It's going to be Giannis, but keep going.
Well, Giannis is getting up there in age, isn't he?
He was a rookie last season.
Was he? No, he wasn't. No way.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought he has been grinding for a little while in the league, but
maybe I'm wrong. But I'm looking at his stats. It only has the 2019 to 2020 season, so I could be wrong. I'm not a big basketball player. I'm not a big basketball fan, so I could be totally wrong.
But let me tell you how to make baseball more exciting, right? We talked about this pre-show, and I want to say it on air here right now. Cut the season down by a third. Make it a 100-game season. Play a double hitter on a Tuesday. Play a 4 o'clock game and then a 7 o'clock game, and then have a weekend series. So you're still getting five games a week, but you are like you were making it exciting because you were there. Like it is an all-day spectacle on Tuesday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or if you don't want to do that, make it a Friday, Saturday. Have a doubleheader on a Friday night or a Saturday, and then have a Tuesday night game too. So you still get your 4 or 5 games like in a row, and then put a time limit on the games. Make it like every other competitive sport where it is a timed game. So you can still play your nine innings, but you're only going to get 15 minutes per inning.
Yeah, but then that takes out the 3 outs and all that. I think if you do something like that, if you make it a timed game like that, you have to restructure the whole game as a whole.
So cut it down to 7 innings.
Yeah, I agree with that. Cut it down to 7 innings. I agree with that. But most importantly, I would cut the season almost in half.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, I kind of dig the 60-game season that they have. Like every game basically counts for 2.5 wins or 2.5 like losses. Make each game actually mean something. And like if 62 too short to run from late May to October, for your 4 or 5 games in a week, jump it up to 80 games. Like
I think it would bring more fans into the stadium also.
Yeah, like seriously, if you look at past seasons here, you are looking in the stands July 15th. It's 115 degrees outside on a Tuesday afternoon. There's maybe 100 fans in the stands.
Yeah, I mean, and not only that, like you play games like during the day while people are at work.
Yeah, like people were making such a big deal, like, oh, these players need fans to play. Baseball players are used to playing for like just their moms and dads. Like, let's be totally honest, they are so used to it. Like that is why playoff baseball they amp up so much. Like, oh, this is what a crowd feels like. Okay, let me put on the big boy pants now, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But, I mean, baseball. I love baseball. I played it growing up as a kid. I played it in high school. I played it in college too, and I play slow pitch softball now. And it just that there is something about being at a ballpark watching a game. They need to make it to get people interested. They need to make it into a spectator sport, much like what football is. I would rather watch football at home than in the stadiums sometimes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because of the spectacular, because of the commentators, if you turn on to a baseball game right now, probably in the 6th or 7th inning, they are talking about how they mowed their grass for the 4th time this month, or
You know when I like watching baseball? If it's like in the 6th or 7th inning and the score is tied or a team is up 1 or 2.
Right.
Then I will start watching. Like I did the other night, I watched the Royals and the White Sox. It was 7-4 when I started watching it. So it was still like Kansas City still had a chance to come up.
Yeah.
But White Sox blew them out. But
yeah,
still, that's when I will not sit and watch a baseball game on TV. It's like half of my damn day.
Yeah, I'd say the first 4 innings are pretty much trash. The innings 5, 6, and 7 usually some excitement happens if there happens to be a close game past the 7th. 8th and 9th innings are going to be exciting because they bring in the closers, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But you are right. If it's more than probably 4 runs after the 7th, you can pretty much chalk it up as a win for the opposing team one way or the other. So let's go ahead and jump into this chat here. Jameson says, why is the baseball not playing in the bubble? They have all those fields in Orlando. Why not play in the bubble? Because they said it was a logistical nightmare bringing 30 Major League Baseball teams plus there's 22 players on a Major League Baseball team, not mistaken.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and baseball just takes so long, so you can't say, hey, we're going to play this game at noon and then this game at 4. What happens if the game takes 4.5 hours? Then you have to do batting practice and all this other stuff. And so you got to go into 6.
Yeah, if they go into extra innings and all of that, now
Now, just like what you said, Mike, I think it was last week, they talked about doing like a geographical thing where, 10 teams here, 10 teams here, 10 teams here. That would have worked, like I think, because you put 2-3 baseball fields in that, 18 pod. That probably would have been just fine. But I think it's because the baseball management is just so bad. The commissioner of the baseball and whatnot just
that's exactly what they said on the debate. The baseball commissioner he's got his head so far up his ass he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, I mean the baseball like I said, I love baseball and I believe when Jamie was on last week, she said baseball was the second most popular sport, right? If I wasn't mistaken.
Yeah, it's NBA. It's basketball.
No, it was pretty sure it was baseball.
No,
But
basketball's it's NFL, NBA, and baseball.
okay, well, the only way baseball is going to be exciting again is bring back steroids. Bring back the steroid era. Chicks dig the long ball. We love seeing fights. I mean, make it so every sixth inning where the opposing pitchers have to UFC fight for six minutes. Make it real exciting.
Actually, I'm looking at statistics right here by what they watch on TV. Baseball is second.
Told you. That Jamie brought that up.
I think baseball is only second because they have so many damn games, so they have so many opportunities to watch them on TV.
Yeah, so you're technically getting like, if a person tunes into one game a day from April 1st until November 1st, that is what, 8 months worth of time, 8 times 30, rough math, 240 days. Even if they tune in for like 15 seconds, they get an hour viewership time. So that's 240 hours just by somebody flipping through the channels. So, but regardless. All right, Mike, we got to take a quick little break here. I let you calm down a little bit, but now it's time to poke the bear after the break. NCAA football, man. Is it going to happen?
It's going to happen, but it's going to be a shit show.
We will be right back and talk about it right after the break. Welcome back to the Mike and Mike Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckcasher here with Michael Blah. Mike, I forgot to tell them the most exciting news of all is that we're still giving away that $100 Amazon gift card. All you got to do is like the Facebook page to get an entry, and you get additional entries by sharing this feed and join some of the chat talk groups as well. That's all you got to do. Once we get the 500 like marks, we are giving away the Amazon gift card. And last check, I think we're like at 470, so we're getting really, really close there. So, Mike, you are a huge college football fan. You are a Texas Longhorns fan. I'm sorry for your wife and kids there for supporting that nasty, nasty orange color. But the Big 12 has come out and said that they would be playing 9 games plus 1. So they'll be playing every team in the conference. That is no surprise. And then 2 non-conference games. You being a Texas Longhorn fan, you were kind of going off on me earlier. Let the people know what you were talking about, man.
Yeah, man, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. Texas, or anybody in the Big 12 for that matter, has no chance whatsoever to move up in the rankings unless they go out and they beat. If the only way Texas can even move up at this point, number one, if they beat Oklahoma, but they're only going to move into the 7th or 8th spot, right? So if they want to move up even further, they literally have to go out and beat everybody 60-something. They have to score at least 60 points and keep their opponents to under 20, including Oklahoma. And I don't care what any of you say, Big 12 football is some smash mouth football. These guys aren't.
I think they're the most underrated conference out there, period.
Yes.
Good.
But the SEC, on the other hand, since the voting and all of that is so biased towards the SEC, all of them have they all have top 10 games. So besides Clemson and Ohio State, the SEC, anybody in there is a shoo-in for the playoffs, going under what they're doing now. Because now Texas doesn't get to play LSU, right? So we take that game away. Because if Texas beats LSU, LSU's ranked number 5. Texas beats LSU, that moves Texas from, 13 to probably 8, 7 or 8. And then we go play Oklahoma. We beat Oklahoma. And then that possibly moves us into the top 5. That's not happening now.
Yeah,
and nobody in the Big 12, nobody, not even Oklahoma, has a chance to move up now. So how do we get a true national championship at this point? Because now you might as well just let the SEC play for the national championship at this point.
Which that's what ultimately will end up that's ultimately will end up what will happening. And just to add to your LSU take here, let's say Texas did beat LSU. And then in return, I think LSU could probably beat Alabama and like Auburn, both top 10 teams, and that makes that LSU victory versus the Texas win over LSU that much more enticing because LSU also beat Alabama, they beat Auburn, and
exactly,
and like whoever else they play. Like I can definitely see that as a possibility. And I've been on record saying many times that I think the SEC bias is unreal. I mean, how many teams do they have in the top 25 right now? I mean, I can think of 5 or 6 off the top of my head right now. They got LSU,
Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Florida. 4 in the top 10.
Right. And what did Florida do last year? Didn't they lose to Kentucky Wildcats last season?
They did.
Then they lost. I think they had 4 losses last season, if I'm not mistaken. So how do you put that team legitimately in the top 25 preseason after that kind of season?
So here's the top 10. Number 1 is Clemson. Number 2, Ohio State. Number 3, Alabama. Number 4, Georgia. Number 5, LSU. Number 6, Oregon. 7, Oklahoma. 8, Notre Dame. 9, Penn State. Number 10, Florida. I don't even see how Texas gets left out of the top 10 after they beat who they beat last year in the bowl game.
Wasn't it Oregon?
No, it was Utah.
No, it was Utah State, right?
Yeah, Utah State, which was in the top 10 before they got knocked out.
Right. So Jameson says here, don't you think that the SEC teams will beat each other up? No, because I don't think the SEC is as strong per team like the Big 12. I mean, every given week, you can have a team like TCU come into Texas Stadium down there in Austin and whoop that ass. You can have a team like West Virginia travel to Oklahoma and whoop that ass. From 9-1, the Big 12 is the strongest conference from top to bottom. They are the most underrated because they beat up each other week in and week out. The SEC has this quote separation because this is the first time ever I think that Alabama is playing 4 top 25 teams in their games. I mean, and the only reason why they have 4 to 5 top 25 teams is because that they're strictly playing an SEC schedule. They don't get to play UAB this year. They don't get to play the Alabama A&M or whatever the heck that team was, or the Citadel. I mean, that is why Alabama's wins always look so impressive because look who they play. They legitimately play 3 teams every year. They play LSU, they play Georgia, and Auburn. So that is legitimately their only 3 games year in and year out. That's why they're always undefeated or one-loss teams. Always.
Yeah, always.
Same thing with LSU.
It's horrible, dude. It's college football this year is a shit show.
Yeah, so I believe you told me that SEC is playing 8 games. The Big 12 is playing 9 plus 1, whatever the heck that that means like they have the option to get an extra game or whatever. Like I don't know. I think the SEC is only playing 8, and then the Pac-12, I believe they may not even have a season because all the players are boycotting. But we'll talk about that later. Like, how do you
do we even why even have a national championship this year? There's no we're not going to have a true national champion.
Well, you will never have a true national championship as long as Central Florida always goes undefeated because they will claim national championships year in and year out.
It's true. It's true.
But
if this situation, now granted, yes, it's because of COVID, but if this situation does not show you that this ranking system is so flawed, then I don't know what else. I don't know what else to do anymore. Like, it's pointless.
I would rather have the
watching
BCS.
College football is pointless.
It is not pointless because you still get to see your teams play. You know, those eight or 9 games, and you get to see competition week in and week out. At least for a Texas fan. And the Kansas State, I believe we play week 4, I think. I think you said you guys are coming to Manhattan, Kansas, going to whoop that baby brown butt all the way back to Austin. But yeah, Mike, you are. I don't want to say you're right, but you are on the right path. College football is pretty much going to be a wash this season because of the conference only plays. Like, that's what it comes down to. This goes to show you that you need interconference play to really start to distinguish teams apart from each other. Like that Texas LSU game, that was going to be a big game.
Yeah, that's a big game for Texas that just got canceled.
Wasn't Auburn going to? Was Alabama playing Ohio State this year, or is that next year?
I think that's next year. I don't think they were playing them this year.
Yeah, but either way, I mean, college football is definitely a wash this year. And just to circle all the way back around to Jameson's point here, I don't think the SEC teams will beat up on each other just because they're not as strong as the other conferences. Alabama, you said, Mike, plays Georgia, LSU, and Auburn, and that's it, right? I mean,
yeah.
As far as competitive teams.
Yeah, they play Georgia. I mean, Ole Miss is competitive, but not like Georgia or LSU and Alabama. I mean, you can even argue that Texas A&M is competitive.
They were more competitive in the Big 12 than they were SEC. And that is not because the SEC is more competitive. It's because their recruiting power from the Big 12 went down. Because if players are going to play in the SEC, they don't want to play for Texas A&M. They don't want to play for Vanderbilt. They don't want to play for Kentucky. They want to play for Alabama, Auburn, LSU, and Georgia. That's what it comes.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. So, speaking of college football here, the Pac-12, they have around 400 to 500 players now that are basically pushing to sit out the season. One being COVID concerns. They want to be able to sit out for COVID and not lose eligibility. They also want player equality across the board. I'm not for sure what they're talking about there. I mean, obviously the whole Black Lives Matter movement, but I'm not for sure how they aren't equal to everybody else. And then they want a 2% revenue sharing for poor black kids. They had me on every aspect of that until the last one when they said they want a 2% revenue sharing. I like that, but then it said for the poor black kids. Like, why does it have to be a money statue? So just because you are poor and I am rich and we're both playing a game that we love, you get paid and I don't because you are not well off at home. That doesn't make sense.
It's not even that. I mean, there's some white kids that go to college that are poor.
Right.
So do they not count? And I'm not trying to make this a white or black thing. I'm not trying to do anything. But if you're going to give it to one, give it to everybody across the board.
I mean, that is my biggest issue. Is our governor here in Kentucky wants to give free health insurance to black folk. Just give it to everybody. Why do you have to separate the races? Period. Why? people are making it a black and white.
All you're doing when you do something like that, you're just driving the wedge between black and white people. You're just driving it even more, even more.
It is
because you're calling it out. You're making it a race thing. Racism will go away when everybody stops making it a race thing and everybody treats everyone equally.
Yeah, so I mean, like I see where those Pac-12 players are coming from. I see what they're trying to like say and like trying to do, but unfortunately, guys, you ended the conversation when you said poor black kids. Like, what about the rich black kids? Do like they not get the 2% share? Like,
what's wrong? Yeah, the well-off black kids can't give it too.
Yeah.
Like, how's that gonna make them feel? Like now they're alienated. Oh, my parents did good.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a rich black kid, I can't get that 2%.
Yeah, it just
it's not fair to me.
Like just like I was saying pre-show, they had me for everything until they put in the poor black kid part. So, but I don't want to get too into that because we are getting tight on time, and we have a couple more topics that I want to talk about. One of the biggest things that you sent me early this morning
is going on. Is going to continue.
Right.
The Rock bought the XFL for $15 million. He bought that league for pennies on the dollar.
So,
pennies.
So, Mike, like what I was telling you earlier, let me pull up exactly what I told you. I think I had like 4 or 5 points that was kind of stupid here. But so the Rock gets kicked out of the Ballers season on HBO because of alleged steroid use. Do you think the Rock is going to like encourage steroid use in the XFL to make it more exciting?
No, I don't think so. Because I mean, let's be honest. Like, you know, steroid use and playing a contact sport like the NFL or football, period, it doesn't work because steroids ultimately breaks down your body.
It also heals it faster, though.
It does heal it faster. You're absolutely right. But you remember that one show called The Program?
No.
You've never watched The Program?
I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so.
You should go watch The Program. It's about a college kid who uses steroids. He keeps getting hurt. He takes steroids to heal, and it just ends his football career.
It's just like a.
And that's what would happen. I mean, you encourage steroid use in a contact sport, you're gonna end up you're gonna end up worse than what you were. Like steroid use at baseball. I mean, I don't agree with it, but I mean, if any sport, let baseball do.
162 games, you're doing wear and tear on your body. You need a little bit of help to repair,
you
right?
You are, but you are, but I mean, are you doing wear and tear on your body like somebody playing on Sundays? No.
I don't know. I mean, it's a different type of wear and tear between baseball and football.
Really the only people that are having like serious wear and tear on their body are pitchers.
I would say catchers more than pitchers because the pitchers pitch like once a week or so. But like catchers are
a center fielder taking steroids. He doesn't have that kind of wear and tear on his body.
Hey, walking from the outfield to the dugout 9 or it'd be 18 times, right? I mean, maybe catching 3 or 4 fly balls a game, that is rough on your body, man. Like, I'll tell you what. But so jumping back to the XFL, I was trying to wrap my head around the whole process of what does The Rock see in this? Does he think by simply putting his name on this brand that failed in 2003 was failing this year? Luckily, COVID saved that more or less from the complete failure that it was going to happen. Like, does The Rock think him putting his name on this XFL is going to blow it up? Like does he? Like, what are your thoughts? Like, do you think he can like in his mind, like, hey, The Rock's XFL, and it's going to save it? Like, I don't see that happening.
Well, I don't think it's just his name. I think he'll go about it a little better way. I mean, let's be honest. Like, aside from The Rock being a great actor, and yes, I said it, he's a great actor. I like watching The Rock in movies. He's great.
But
But I think he's super business savvy, and a lot of people don't know that about him.
Right.
He's really business savvy. I think if anybody can save that league, I think it's The Rock, and he'll be able to bring in pieces that maybe Vince McMahon couldn't have brought in. You know what I mean?
So I see what you're saying. He has maybe a little bit more connections than Vince McMahon, but Vince McMahon.
League, but he also has a investor group behind him too,
right.
to help invest into the league. I think we're going to see the XFL kind of flourish over the next few years.
So, and I think you are 100% wrong. Because as The Rock might have business partners and connections and whatnot, where did he learn how to do business at a younger age? From Vince McMahon, right? He was a wrestler underneath Vince McMahon, so he saw the wrestling aspect, and he is going to have the same vision as Vince McMahon. Like Vince McMahon says, "Oh, this works in the squared circle, but it's not going to work on the football field." We've seen it fail twice. They literally promoted it for a year and a half, and it still failed.
I don't think so. I think it's a better product on the field, and I think it's marketed better. Everything. I think it's going to be just an all-around better product.
See, like people,
you got to almost, right? Because you looked at it like, let's be honest, like the XFL wasn't really marketed. And I'm a marketer, right? That's what that's my company. I don't think the XFL was marketed right, in my opinion.
Vince McMahon created the buzz, I believe, like 2018, like around Thanksgiving time, like because I owned a indoor football team at that time, and like all my players were like, the XFL is coming to like town, yada, like, and then you didn't really hear anything for like 6-7 months, like it was just dark, right? And then all of a sudden, boom, hey guys, in March we are starting up again. Do we have rules? No. Do we have balls? No. Do we even have a coaching staff? No. But we have Oliver Luck. Like he is going to lead the charge, right? So yeah, I can definitely see that it was not marketed quite well. But does The Rock have that experience to hire a marketing team to elevate that, or is the NFL such a dominant sport that we don't want spring football?
I don't know who the hell you're talking to, but I would love spring football. Football all season long? What? Yes.
We're going to see how much spring football really draws our attention because there are high school football teams, I believe like Illinois, Ohio, Iowa, and some other states like around us that are doing spring football. The Ivy League is doing spring football. I believe Conference USA is also doing spring football. So we will see how much we love spring football this coronavirus season. And I just don't. I think between the months of March to June, we are just not baseball that savvy because, like, let's be honest, March NCAA, March Madness, April NBA.
No, I mean Jameson just said it the best. The only reason why the XFL failed this second time around was COVID. Was because
they were already going bankrupt after week 4.
Yeah, but they could not sustain because they knew they were going to have to shut down. They shut down during COVID.
Okay, so COVID I believe was like, I really need Dylan from Unknown to do because he was a huge XFL insider type guy. I believe it was week 8 they were going into in the XFL because teams were week 7 because teams were like 4-2 and 3-3 and like whatnot. It was week 4. Things come out and said, hey, they need like $100 million more dollars to basically float the rest of the season for these teams. So by week 4, they were already saying they needed more capital, which they got. And so by week 8, they were already barely treading water. So you can say COVID did it, but they were failing before that.
It had suspended operations on April 10th is when they suspended, and then they had to lay off all their workers due to the COVID-19 outbreak.
Right.
Like right there, that started spelling doom for them. There's no more people buying tickets or anything like that. You're not generating revenue as a business.
Right.
So if tomorrow I stop generating revenue for my company, I can only last for maybe about 6 months, and then I'm done. I'm out of there.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You have to be able to continue to generate revenue, and if you can't, then you have to understand when to cut your losses. And I think that's what happened with the XFL. They had, you know what? We don't know how long this COVID shit is. This is the first time we've ever seen the government shut down, mass shut down everything. Like, yeah, Vince McMahon cut his losses, filed for bankruptcy.
So being a sports team owner as well, you have a plan of how much your season is going to cost, like your payment of players, payment of the arena, staff workers, yada yada yada. You usually have all your bills paid up before the season even starts. So those ticket sales, those hot dog sales, those beer sales, those $25 to like park sales, that's all money in your pocket for next season. They failed by not having the season fully paid for before they kicked off. And I think it was February 20th or whatever they kicked the ball off. They should have had all their bills, all their ducks in a row, bills ready to be paid, and COVID would have not have shut them down, and they wouldn't have been treading water by week 4. It's the fact that they relied on those fans to come fill those stands. They relied on those hot dog sales. They relied on people buying T-shirts. You cannot do that as a smart sports team owner. Maybe as a business owner, because like that's your only way of selling stuff is making money from T-shirts and stuff, but you cannot operate a sports team just like that, or a sports league that is such getting this national attention the way it was.
COVID killed the XFL.
So you just made my point. The COVID killed the XFL. So The Rock, no matter how much money he throws into it, no matter the team he has behind it, it's going to fail.
No,
because COVID killed it. You cannot bring something back from the dead. What are you, Dr. Shabaka or whatever?
He's going to. Watch. Telling you. He's going to.
So, do you want to know what beats Rock every time?
Paper.
The old mighty paper. You can throw all the paper you want to it. The Rock is still going to get defeated. The XFL is still going to get defeated at the end of the day.
You're just a damn hater.
I was saving that joke all day, man. So let's go ahead and shift gears to the actual football that is going to happen this year, the NFL. So rumors are starting to surface that Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon are both going to go to Seattle. Mike, I said that AB to the Seahawks was pretty much making them Super Bowl locks. I like Josh Gordon as a talent. I'm not for sure if he's quite the elite level that he once was, but does Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon to Seattle make them that much dangerous?
I do. I don't know about Josh Gordon, but Antonio Brown, I said it the other night. Antonio Brown with Russell Wilson. And so he's going to have Tyler Lockett, Antonio Brown, and then throw in Josh Gordon into the mix.
And don't forget about E.J. Metcalf as well.
Yeah, and E.J. Metcalf, that's a star-studded wide receiver core right there.
Yeah. You put those 4 big names on receivers. Chris Carson, a top 10 running back in the league. That offense is going to eat. And yes, I can already see a comment coming from Jameson right now saying that, dude, Seattle doesn't have any pass rush, yada, yada, yada. You don't need a pass rush if you're putting up 50 points a game. Look at the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's true. It's true. You don't need a pass rush. You don't.
You just got to score more points than the other team.
That's
and
it.
they are.
That is it.
Jameson says, no way. AB is going to Baltimore and Gordon is going to Green Bay.
No, they're talking. No, yeah. I think they're actually bringing him in for a workout.
Yeah. I believe that Antonio Brown was.
One of them is not leaving there. They're going in for a workout. One of them is not leaving without a contract, and I think it's going to be AB.
I don't think Josh Gordon is still underneath contract with the Seahawks.
Is he?
I think so because he did sign a contract, a 2-year contract, and then he got suspended again for drugs. But the problem is that I think they're both suspended for 8 games anyways. So
yeah, AB is suspended for 8 games.
So speaking of AB, I was watching another network today, and old Hall of Famer Shannon Sharp said this blasphemous coming out of his mouth. He
He
said
wants to be Stephen A. Smith so bad.
he said that he would rather have Antonio Brown on the Dallas Cowboys than CeeDee Lamb.
No,
Mike, you
man.
are a Cowboys fan.
I don't know, man. That's AB, man. CD Lamb's unproven. AB's proven.
AB is a proven cancer too.
He is, but I would still take AB.
So you're telling me you would cut a first-round draft pick in CeeDee Lamb for
I wouldn't cut him. But if I had to choose between the two, yeah, I would take AB over CD.
I think you'd have to cut somebody at some point because they would have an abundance of receivers at some point, or like over there, right?
Yeah, we'll cut somebody somewhere else. We'll send somebody to the practice team, the practice squad.
Will you cut Zeke and let CeeDee Lamb play quarterback?
Get the hell out of here. That nonsense.
But I mean, just like at first, like I heard that, and I'm like, you know, that's not a horrible idea, right? And like Antonio Brown and the Dallas Cowboys, but then I'm thinking of the receiver core that they have, and Antonio Brown and Amari Cooper are probably the same receiver. They do the same things.
I wouldn't say all that. I would say AB is a better receiver than Amari Cooper.
I'm not saying talent wise, but I'm saying like things they do, like they do on the field. So you basically have two receivers doing the same thing on both sides of the field. So
my cousin Justin chimed in and said AB would break up that Seattle team. He's trash. I don't know, man. He's been out of the league
a year now.
I think he's got a point to prove.
Well, so I've been saying this the whole time, and I'm going to echo it again. AB needs to go to a established team with a veteran quarterback presence. Seattle fits the mold perfectly. Baltimore does not, because Lamar Jackson is trash. And AB will rip Lamar Jackson head to toe. Give me the ball, give me the ball, give me the ball, and Lamar Jackson's trash arm is going to show up, and he will be not even top 32 quarterback in the league at the end of the year. Justin also says he's talented, no doubt, but bad drama. Yeah, I mean, he is a what's it called, a pre-Madonna, or is it post-Madonna, or is it Post Malone? Wow. Oh, Mikey. So, do you think Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon both sign in Seattle, or just one of them?
I wouldn't be surprised if both of them sign. I mean, Pete Carroll's known to do some stupid shit sometimes. I don't think he signed both of them. I think he signed AB, let Josh Gordon walk. Josh Gordon can't stay sober. I mean, how many times is he gonna?
Josh Gordon played last time.
Yeah, I can't. It's been a while.
Was it 2017 with Patriots? Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, the dude can't stay off drugs.
Yeah.
So, like, I wouldn't take my chances on Josh Gordon, which sucks because Josh Gordon is a waste of talent.
Was it his first or second year when he was with the Browns and he was scoring like in fantasy points, like he was scoring like 20 points week in, week out? I'm like, I need this guy on a keeper league, and I jump in on a keeper league and I draft him, and he has been suspended ever since. I'm like, so I legitimately have Josh Gordon on my keeper league still from like 2017 or 2016. I think he scored me a total of like 3 points.
Jameson doesn't want AB to go because he don't want to see the Seahawks twice a year with AB.
Yeah,
that's why.
Well, I mean, I don't think anybody does, to be honest. Because like
Russell Wilson's not the number one quarterback in the league for nothing.
Well, it depends who you talk to. If you talk to the players, they say Lamar Jackson's number one, right? And
he was snubbed.
Jameson also says that the Seahawks don't have the leadership in the locker room. I don't know. I think Russell Wilson is a leader.
Russell Wilson's got that locker room on lock.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, that linebacker does. What's his name? His name's slipping my mind. Sign his big deal.
No, Chancellor.
Yeah. No.
Chancellor.
He's hurt. I think he got cut. But I'm talking about the talking about the linebacker. Man, what is his name? Not Bobby Wagner.
Well, I mean, you have Bobby Wagner in there too.
Yeah.
He's got the locker room too, and Jameson, they do have the cap space for those two because both of them will come in on veteran minimal deals.
Which is what,
1
million?
Yeah. They'll both come in for 1 year prove it deals.
Well, and the bright side is that, I guess it is Bobby Wagner was.
Wagner. Bobby Wagner.
But yeah, I mean, they would sign $1 million deals, and if they really wanted them on the team, they could shave some cap space somehow, somewhere. Russell restructured a contract. Maybe Bobby Wagner restructured his contract a little bit. If they really wanted them, they would make it happen.
You know, that's what I really like about the Seahawks is they are all selfless players when it comes to their contracts. Have you noticed that?
Bobby Wagner, I think.
They all wanted the big deals, and they all got the big deals, but how many times has Russell Wilson restructured his contract to bring people on?
I think every year.
Every year he does.
Pretty much.
He's a selfless player.
I do not like how they did Richard Sherman though. Like he tore his ACL or was it ACL or Achilles, and they kind of just shipped him off. Like they're like, get out of here. We don't want you like anymore.
Jameson, you don't believe it happens because you don't want your damn sissy ass 49ers to see Russell Wilson and them and company twice a year with AB and Josh Gordon.
And he has been on this train where that he has been saying AB to the Ravens since July. So or like
I don't think
even.
I don't think he goes to the Ravens.
I think if the Ravens wanted him, they would have already reached out to him.
Yeah, if anybody goes to the Ravens that's not on a roster right now, you're looking at probably Des Bryant.
Yeah. But yeah. So like, what I was going to say before we kind of trailed off there, like also the Seahawks might keep them both, maybe one on the practice squad, one on like a injury reserve type thing, because we don't know what's going on with COVID. I mean, Seattle was a hot spot, just 3 months ago.
Yeah.
What's to say it doesn't ramp up there again, and EJ gets COVID or Tyler Lockett gets COVID, and then boom, you have
somebody in reserve.
Yeah, I mean, two great talents. So, but who knows? Only time will tell. Training camp is officially underway here. More people are sitting out because of COVID as well. So the NFL season is going to get really, really interesting here in the next couple days or so. But Mike, once the COVID opt-outs are finally official and like they have a set deadline, I think we need to jump back into the picks and kind of
I think so.
See how much our picks are going to change, and and also Cam Newton to the Patriots. I think that changes that division.
Yeah, that changes a lot of my picks with New England with Cam Newton. It does. It really does.
Yeah. So guys, this is the Mike and Mike Man Hour. Guys, join us tomorrow, same time, same place. RTFSportsNetwork.com, noon hour, East Coast time, or you can find us here on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. Yes, I said Twitter, at Mike and Mike Man Hour, 10 p.m. East Coast time, live, raw, and uncut sports talk. See you tomorrow.
Cheers, fuckers.
Yeah. Get high, rapper. The Man Hour. You already know. It's live. It's raw. It's going down. Like this. I'm going around letting everybody know that they welcome to the show. It's the latest thing you ever seen, you already know. Let me introduce you to your host of the hour. If you might